Imagine this, you're a teenager arrested for trespassing, you're in front of a judge, you're scared, and you look to your attorney and see a 12-year-old.
You'll probably be surprised to know that is exactly how hundreds of court cases in Clark County play out every year through a program that's getting more popular by the day. News 3's John Trainer has that in tonight's Vegas Lost.
Yeah, a 12-year-old might not instill much confidence, but these young attorneys have been trained. They've been put to work in a program called Trial by Peers.
The charge is possession of a controlled substance, in this case, marijuana, less than an ounce, on school grounds. The judge, Frank Sullivan, the suspect, is a minor. None of that is alarming. The number of teens caught with pot is on the rise. Just another day in court, until you see the attorneys.
My client was found with 2.4 grams of marijuana. 2.4 grams. Who here has seen a penny before? That's a penny right there. This is 2.5 grams.
The defense is a 16-year-old. The prosecution hasn't graduated high school either. The lack of formal education, well, that doesn't stop the objections.
Your Honor, if I may object, I want to make sure that the prosecution isn't misleading the jury.
This is trial by peers. Defendants have all been charged with misdemeanors. The attorneys and the jurors are Clark County students, some as young as 12 years old. They work with real attorneys, real clients, real evidence, real charges. Sit in court and you realize these kids take it really seriously. They also haven't been beaten down with time or jaded by years inside the justice system. This teen attorney is Mateo Portelli. He told us about one case. He was representing the state of Nevada. It was an obstruction charge. A cop arrested a teenager. Mateo dug in, saw an ethical problem. The defendant wasn't obstructing the police's investigation. He was a kid who didn't speak English.
We didn't know in the police report that the police officer spoke to someone who didn't speak English. We dismissed it because it was a false citation.
The charges were dropped. A win for ethics. Judge William Sullivan was impressed.
A lot of responsibility to rest on some very small shoulders.
Absolutely. But these kids take it serious.
Sullivan has been heading up this program for 25 years. Students who get accepted in, and there are close to 100 at a time, take a 9-week course on the law. Then they start practicing. All the cases refer to them instead of going to family court. They estimate the cost savings to the county at about $600 a case, maybe $200,000 a year. The reason why we're here? Their caseload is exploding. In 2016, they handled some 150 cases. Last year, that number skyrocketed to 254.
We're not here to punish the kids. We're teaching about accountability, about being good citizens, not to punish them. We want to modify their behavior. And they're much more receptive to the youth because they understand it better. They're not in the judge and attorneys. They got their own kids telling them what's going on.
So are these young offenders catching a break, represented by teens, jury of their peers? We're told no.
The sentences in most cases are as tough as I would have done when I was on the bench.
They get sentenced here to community service, sentenced to serve time on jury duty, and in this case, to alcohol and drug class, similar to what this 15-year-old would have gotten in court. The punishment is temporary. The lessons here, they hope those will last.
If I'm the state of Nevada, my job is to make sure that that accused delinquent, that kid who made a mistake, understands the ramifications. That's the purpose of the workshop. Has the ability to help other kids. That's the purpose of coming back for jury duty. And has the ability to give back to the community. And that's community service.
As the Judge Sullivan tells us, he's seen remarkable changes to the kids in the program. One case, a student with autism started speaking with more confidence. Now a UNLV student with aspirations on being an attorney. And there are a lot of prominent attorneys in town that started way back when as teenage attorneys in this court.
And I think we just saw the next generation of prominent attorneys. They're very impressive.
Exactly.
You went through the numbers. Why the big jump in the case?
Yeah, jump at 177% just this year. We're told legalized marijuana. They're seeing more small misdemeanor charges for the first-time offenders, and instead of putting them through the court system and risking jail, they've sent them to these kids. They find there's a much stronger connection there.
Yeah.
Money savings too. As you
there it is.
Yeah, pretty fascinating. I can't wait to see where they go. It seems like they're going to be on the Supreme Court or something. If you're doing something like that at 12, who knows what you'll be doing at 40.
Futures.
Exactly. Thanks so much, John.